Hello, this is from the top. I'm Modele Sharafaisu. Thank you for joining us. On our first edition of 2017, we talked about infertility with renowned infertility expert, Professor Oladapo Ashiru. And that has turned out to be one of our most talked about editions in recent times, apparently for different reasons. But one of the issues thrown up by that interview, and which elicited a lot of reactions, was how childless women suffer discrimination and stigma. According to World Health Organization data, more than 180 million couples in developing countries, that's about 1 in 4 couples, suffer from primary or secondary infertility. More unfortunate still, infertility can transform from an acute private distress into a harsh public stigma with complex and devastating consequences. An inability to have a child or to become pregnant can result in being greatly ostracized, isolated, or disinherited. It may result in divorce or physical and psychological violence, especially for women. This happens in many cultures, but more so in Africa, where the consequences of infertility are much more dramatic and can create wide-ranging social and cultural problems compared to Western societies. Now, there is a Pan-African initiative aimed at building fertility capacity, raise awareness about prevention of infertility and male infertility, and also opens a dialogue to define interventions to reduce the stigma and social suffering of infertile women in Africa. The campaign was first implemented in Kenya in 2015 and it was launched in Nigeria in 2016 by Mrs. Dolapo Oshibajo, wife of the Vice President, on behalf of our First Lady. This program is being progressively rolled out across Africa. Through this initiative, all stakeholders, including women leaders, policymakers, parliamentarians, academia, fertility experts, will challenge the perception of infertile women, their roles and worth in society, and try to achieve a systemic shift in the current culture of gender discrimination in the context of fertility care in Africa. Rasha Kelej is the brain behind this campaign, which seeks to empower infertile women to be more than mothers.
Yes.
She's also the Vice President of Merck in Healthcare Worldwide, and she joins me on View from the Top. Thank you very much, Rasha, for joining us.
Thank you very much for being with us as well.
Here is a quick biography before we settle down to our conversation. Rasha Kelej was born in February 1972. She holds a degree in pharmacy from Alexandria University, Egypt, and an MBA from the Robert Gordon University, Scotland. She joined Merck Healthcare in 1996 and became its Chief Social Officer and Vice President in 2014. Rasha was appointed as a member of the African Union Economic, Social and Cultural Council and has won several Women Leadership Awards in acknowledgement of her contribution towards empowering women and girls. She is leading programs to empower women and girls in STEM with special focus on empowering women in research to improve women's health. Let me start by asking you, in many cultures, women are deemed incomplete without children. Why is it so important to change this culture, and what can we do to change the mindset?
It's very important, it's very critical, because these women has no one to stand by them. You know that they suffer all this in silence. They feel that they have no purpose in life, and they suffer the stigma and the violence, not only by their husbands, also by mothers-in-law and sisters-in-law. Women are the culture keepers. So we find out, how can we ignore this and just go and live our life? All the global funds and health initiatives focusing on mother and child, but no one in the whole history of healthcare ever considered childless women. So I said to myself, do we really ignore it? Or do we see how can we even prevent it, manage it, change the culture? Especially if you know that 85% of these peak incidents you mentioned at the moment can be prevented. So if we raise awareness, we can save the future women and girls and couples from having infertility, because it's due to untreated infectious diseases, which is resulted from child marriage or unsafe abortion or unsafe delivery or genital mutation, or all the things we are advocating against every day. So this is for future couples. But when we started the campaign, we said we are going to focus on prevention and management and awareness and improving access to information and health. And then I found out, I discovered a lot of women around Africa, they cannot be treated anymore. They already, it's too late for them, either because of their age or because of the infection manifested in whole reproductive health and no hope to be treated. They shared with us their experience, which you can find in our YouTube channel, all the stories of suffering and stigma and mistreatment and the violence you can imagine. Then I told myself, do we leave them and just focus on the future? We can't. So we said, let us do something for them. Let us change their mindset as well and give them a small businesses, so we empower them economically so they can be empowered also socially. And of course, you watch the transformation. You can't believe it. In 1 month after you empower them with this mindset and the business and how to be reproductive and to be respected again in the community, they become completely different people. You will see that in one video. I shoot the video first before and then after 2 months after the business, and it's completely two different women, completely. So this is one of the angles of the initiative, but also building advocacy in partnership with media like yourself. First ladies, we have the First Lady of Central African Republic who's championing the campaign. Also the First Lady, Mrs. Buhari of Nigeria, she's also championing the campaign for Nigeria. So, and we have a lot of other First Ladies who already started to approach us to implement Merck More Than a Mother in their country. Them speaking and building advocacy and how to respect women and consider them as human beings, whether they have children or not. This will change the mindset. Especially when you look at men, they are always blaming the women for infertility and never themselves. Although